A new sport for cats is making the headlines with animal antics here on BBC One in an hour. Right now, though, let's get the final score. That's with Mark Chapman.
United 0.
Trying to avoid relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters.
The latest score is Wimbledon. Go through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears we all remember. It's too fruitful week.
It's the best competition in the land.
It's a moment where you play for.
Everyone wants to play in the FA Cup.
It's just a dream to play in, because anything can happen.
Radford again. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Sanchez was in there, and that's a goal for Wimbledon.
For us, it's always a fantastic appeal, given the record in it.
The FA Cup, it's still recognised as one of the better competitions in the world, I think.
George! He scored! George has done it!
The country, the English people are in love with the FA Cup, and that will never change.
People only think that we are all about money. I tell you what, the best moment in your life is when you are a winner and you go up and you get the cup. That's the best time.
That's what the FA Cup means to those teams still taking part, and there have been some shocks this afternoon already on Final Score. Robbie Savage and Garth Crooks have been following all the stories as they happen. And we want you to be part of the show as well. Get in touch on Twitter using the hashtag BBC Football and via the live text on the BBC Sport website. And let's bring you right up to date on what is happening in the FA Cup. All square at the Reebok. Stephen Pienaar putting Everton ahead. Marvin Sordell equalising for the Championship club. Olivier Giroud has twice given Arsenal the lead at the Amex Stadium, but the home side have hit back through Ashley Barnes and then Leonardo Ulloa. We've got Blackburn 3-0 up on Derby County. Colin Kazim-Richards and Scott Dan amongst the goals. Huddersfield have just gone a goal up on Leicester. It's Hull City 0, Barnsley 1. Wigan Athletic are a goal up at Macclesfield through Jordi Gomez from the penalty spot. Manchester United against Fulham is the tea time game. No goals between Middlesbrough and Aldershot, and also Norwich against non-league Luton. It is embarrassing for QPR this afternoon. The MK Dons in League One are 4-0 up at Loftus Road. 4-0 at the Medeski as well, but to the Premier League side Reading over League One Sheffield United. And the early game saw a late Pablo Zabaleta goal give Manchester City a 1-0 win over Stoke. Let's start with that game at Loftus Road. John Anderson is watching, so far, the shock of the round.
Yeah, no question about that. Queen's Park Rangers 0, MK Dons 4. The Dons, remember, 7th in League One, 31 places below the Premier League's bottom club, and their fans are now singing "Can We Play You Every Week." It all started in the 4th minute. A corner knocked in low to the near post. Dean Lewington guiding it into the roof of the net for the opener. 5 minutes before half-time, it was 2-0. David Martin, the keeper, with a long kick. Ferdinand misjudged. Ryan Lowe ran on to make it 2-0. 5 minutes after the interval, it was all over. Lowe running to cut back for Ryan Harley to tap in. And then on 56 minutes, Rangers failing to clear a free kick. Darren Potter's well-struck shot into the roof of the net, sending the fans behind that goal into unimagined ecstasy. 4-0 up against a Premier League side who really have done little or nothing to suggest that they could have got anywhere into this game at all. They've been extremely poor. There is discontent at Loftus Road. Quite a few fans have wandered out already. It could have been worse for them a moment ago. Dean Bowditch with a fantastic run and a shot which was well saved by Rob Green. But this simply is an embarrassment for Queen's Park Rangers, and although they're not bothered about the FA Cup perhaps as much as the league. This will not surely help their league campaign. Queen's Park Rangers 0, MK Dons 4.
David Mooney's 11th of the season. Matthew Bergermin Leighton Orient to 2-0 up on Notts County. Rotherham are down to 10 men in League 2 against the bottom side Bristol Rovers. They've pulled one back through David Noble, but they're 3-1 down. Carlisle have equalised against Scunthorpe in League 1 through David Symington's 5th of the season. And Watford, who are in such great form away from home, unbeaten in 6 on the road, and now 3-0 up at the City Ground. Mattia Vidra's 2nd of the afternoon. 18 now for the season for him. If people haven't been watching us on the BBC Sport website or on the HD channel, Harry Redknapp has shuffled his pack this afternoon. But this QPR side is full of internationals. And as John Anderson said, it is an embarrassment.
Well, for people who own the team, Green, Traore, Ferdinand, Fabio, Benahim, Pachi, Son, Granero, Foreland, Mackie, Bothroyd and Campbell. No disrespect, that team at home to Milton Keynes Dons should be putting in a performance, not getting absolutely hammered 4-0. It's embarrassing. And then players would have been knocking on Harry's door when they're playing the Premier League. Gaffer, why am I playing? Well, that's the reason you're not playing, because you can't beat MK Dons at home. Shocking performance.
And as we've heard from John, the fans are turning on the players rather than turning on the management, obviously.
Well, you can't blame the manager for an abject performance at home, and the fans are right, in my view.
We've just got a goal in a game that so far is goalless. It's Premier League against non-league. Norwich against Luton. Who scored, Mark Webber?
It's the Mad Hatters Tea Party. Norwich City 0, non-league Luton Town 1. A goal created by 2 substitutes. O'Donnell on the left, ekes in, finds a pinpoint cross in. Scott Rendell standing in front of the goal. Declan Rudd looks lost. Norwich look lost. Luton look like they're on their way to Wembley. Norwich City 0, Luton Town 1.
We spoke at the start of the show about Norwich's poor run of form, 1 win in 7, and that had been in the FA Cup 3rd round.
Well, Luton Town, we spoke to Nick Owen on 606, getting beaten Wolves in the previous round. Going to Norwich, if they can hold on to that, what a performance from... Norwich have got a good team out. They've got quality players, and it's at Carrow Road. What a performance that'll be. I don't know what odds I'd get for Norwich to equalise, but I'd take them. I can't, because I can't believe Norwich are going to lose this game.
But they're behind.
I know, they're
behind.
My
finger's in shot there. Look, Norwich 0, Luton 1.
The game's not over.
I know, but there's only 10 minutes left.
A lifetime in football, a lifetime. And I think Norwich will equalise. If they don't, then it's
you owe me a lot of money.
I owe you a lot of money, and I'll pay you.
All right.
But I'll put my money on Norwich.
All right, we've got that taped. Scott Rendell's, that's his 11th of the season. He's been around the houses of Scott Rendell, Wickham, Cambridge United, but he's scored for Luton this afternoon. And in League 1, Colchester, who've lost their last 9 league games, they're on a dreadful run, have taken the lead against Walsall, who have won their last 4. Walsall are in form. Jabba Ibera's 5th of the season, and Colchester lead by 1-0 in League 1. So it's all going very well for one non-league side in the FA Cup. Let's find out how the other ones are doing. Macclesfield at home to Wigan. James Mason.
I can't beat Mark Webber's scoreline, but Macclesfield are still in this game, trailing 1-0 from Jordi Gomez's early penalty in the first half. But don't be fooled, this game is far from over. Every Macclesfield pass and shot has been cheered by the home fans as they sense their side could yet draw themselves level and continue this fantastic FA Cup ties. The ball is swung deep into the box. The hero from the last round and top scorer Matthew Barnes-Homer may not yet have had his best day, but still looks the Silkman's biggest threat. Roberto Martinez looks nervous down on the sideline, making 8 changes this afternoon, and it's going to be a nervy, tense finish. It's Macclesfield 0, Wigan Athletic 1.
Paul Ince left the Football Focus studio earlier to go and watch his son at Molineux. He'll be happy that he made that decision. He's got 2 this afternoon, has Tom Ince. And Blackpool, who were a goal down to Wolves, have turned it round. They lead by 2-1. 15 for the season now for Tom Ince. And Crewe have got one back at Bournemouth. Bournemouth 2, Crewe 1. Ryan Colclough with that goal. 14 minutes left. Another goal in the FA Cup. This one has come at the John Smith Stadium, an all-championship clash. Huddersfield against Leicester. Harry Gratian.
It's 1-1. Novak got the penalty after a wonderful work by Scannell. Hunt was fouled quite clearly by Dyer. That was after 72. But just a moment or so ago, a wonderful equaliser by Leicester. Chris Wood just stepping over and from close range makes it 1-1 with 8 minutes left.
So Huddersfield 1, Leicester 1. As you may have seen, it's Brighton 2, Arsenal 2. Good last 10 minutes for you here, Tony Husband.
It should be an excellent and somewhat nervous last 10 minutes, you would think, for Arsene Wenger and his Arsenal side. Twice they have surrendered the lead in this cup tie, and a real fever pitch atmosphere all around the Amex Stadium. He's brought Walcott and Wilshere on in the last few minutes as he tries to wrestle a victory from this game. A game which has seen a brace for Olivier Giroud, one excellent long-range effort from the 25-yard mark, curled in past Kasper Ankergren. That was what would give Arsenal the lead. The second then put them 2-1 up early in the second half, a half volley from just inside the penalty area. But the Brighton side have responded well, both sides times. Ashley Barnes with a header unmarked from a corner. That made it 1-1 at the interval. And then in the second half, trailing 2-1, it was Leonardo Iua on his debut, the signing from Almeria, who put Barnes' cross in with a diving header. Earlier, Podolski had hit the bar with a free kick for Arsenal. Should be a good last few minutes, 2-2.
Let's go back to Loftus Road, where, as you can see, Jay Bothroyd's pulled one back for the home side. Are there many home fans there to witness it, John Anderson?
Yeah, still quite a few, but I don't think you can even use the word consolation to describe Jay Bothroyd's goal. It was a simple header from 6 yards out, and to be honest, such has been the imbalance in favour of MK Dons that I think they'll be very disappointed not to have kept a clean sheet in a match that they've dominated. Goals by Lewington Lowe, Harley and Potter put them surely into the fifth round, although a moment ago Jamie Mackie almost had a sniff of a second goal for QPR, almost surrounding David Martin, but a covering tackle rescued MK Dons. But surely it's too late for anything dramatic. On the other hand, this is the FA Cup. Rangers 0, MK Dons 4.
Morecambe haven't won away in 8 league games, but they are back on level terms at Dagenham and Redbridge through Stuart Drummond, and there is 9 minutes to play in that match. To the Reebok, where it's nicely balanced going into the last few minutes. Richard Askham.
Yes, it is. David Moyes in charge today. Chappers of Everton for the 500th time will be still a little concerned, I think. Bolton are more than matching their Premier League opponents today. Marcus Alonso has brought a really good save from Tim Howard. And Bolton are still going for the victory here. Stuart Holden onto a standing ovation has given them renewed impetus in midfield. Marouane Fellaini, as we thought, has been moved further forward for Everton, but it's making little difference at the moment. In the first half, Everton dominated early on, scored through Stephen Pienaar, and then Bolton hit back really well. Tim Howard brought into action on several occasions in that first 45 as well, but could do little to deny Marvin Sordell, who finished a flowing move to level. And I wouldn't say Everton are hanging on, but they are worried here, Chappers.
There's only one cup tie without a goal in it, and that has just changed. Paul Addison's seen the first one of the afternoon at the Riverside.
Yes, Mark, and a breakthrough for Middlesbrough with 7 minutes left on the clock, and it's really harsh on Aldershot. The goal was scored by Lukas Jutkovic from close range, and the shots will feel very hard done by, because without creating a great deal themselves, they have played really well here this afternoon. Their goalkeeper Jamie Young has pulled off several good saves, but Boro have been very much out of sorts, at times difficult to tell who is the Championship side in the playoff positions and who is struggling at the bottom of League Two. But Boro fans won't care about that. If the score stays the same now, they'll be into the next round. Lukas Jutkovic scores and they lead 1-0.
That's his 9th of the season as well for the former Coventry striker. And Morecambe, who I said hadn't won away in 8 league games, have turned it round very quickly. Couple of goals in 2 minutes. Ryan Williams has got the second. It's Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Morecambe 2. And if you just go to the top in the SPL, there's only one game taking place this weekend because it's League Cup semi-final weekend. Dundee United 1, Ross County 1. The side in 11th are back on level terms through Richard Britton's goal 8 minutes from full time. It's been a very comfortable afternoon for Reading this today against Sheffield United. Jason Mohammed.
Sheffield United, Mark, have been completely blown away by a stunning Reading display. Brian McDermott's team have played with pace and passion. Is this really the team? That's the question I'm asking. That's conceded 43 goals this season in the Premier League. Noel Hunt has got 2. The first a fine header, the second a scuffed shot, but he won't care. 6 for the season. Mikel Legitwood's strike will be on a compilation of Reading's goal of the season. At the end of it, DVD cracker, top corner. Gareth McCleary made it 4. Nick Blackman's been United's best player. There are reports, Mark, he could be signing for Crystal Palace in the next few days. He's had a goal ruled out for offside. Our referee today is Chris Foy, the man who sent off Eden Hazard after Ball Boy Gate on Wednesday at Swansea. Therefore, I have to say, impressive ball boys and girls work here at the Medeski. 4-0.
15 for the season for Gavin Tomlin, and in League Two, Southend are a goal up on Chesterfield. Brett Pittman's hit a hat-trick for Bournemouth this afternoon. They lead Crewe by 3-1 in League One. And in the FA Cup, a crucial 5th goal at the Amex Stadium. Brighton 2, Arsenal 2 until now. Who's taking the lead? Tony Husband.
Arsenal in front for the 3rd time in this game with just 5 minutes remaining on the clock. It was Theo Walcott who's volleyed back in a ball that had been cleared from an Arsenal corner. It's taken a massive deflection, I think, off Adam El-Ab, so it may well go down as an own goal in the end. But Walcott, one of the substitutes, thrown on by Arsene Wenger to try and get his side out of the mess in this tie, and he may well have just succeeded. Walcott initially got that cross and shot away. It hit El-Ab, and it's put Arsenal into a 3-2 lead.
Former Norwich striker Cody MacDonald has scored for Gillingham, and they're back on level terms with York. They're second in League Two at Gillingham. Gillingham 1, York 1. And let's hear more about Raider Johnson's goal for Sheffield Wednesday. Their equaliser at Charlton. Mark Bishop.
Absolutely incredible stuff here at the Valley. Chappers, Charlton Athletic 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Johnny Jackson, the Charlton captain, looked at it be putting Charlton ever closer to their 4th successive league victory for the first time in 6 years, until Lewis Buxton on the right-hand side swung in a delicious cross, and there was Raider Johnson, towering header, top right-hand corner. 1,900 Wednesday fans away to my right in absolute ecstasy. 1-1.
7 for the season for John Parkin. 5 of them have come in the league, and it's a good afternoon for Fleetwood Town. First time they've ever met Oxford United, and they are 3-0 up, and there's confirmation of Theo Walcott's goal. It's been given to him at the moment. Brighton 2, Arsenal 3. Ivan Gaskell in the Championship this afternoon has watched a very impressive Watford at Nottingham Forest.
Yes, into the last 10 minutes here, and Watford are very, very comfortable. Vidra with 2 really well-taken goals. Troy Deeney, his strike partner, with the other one. And Forest's, well, they've been toiling around in the slush here in the East Midlands. Their afternoon summed up minutes ago when Billy Sharp almost hit the corner flag with a shot from 20 yards. Sharp, Forest anything but.
Thank you, Ivan. And if Tom Ince is going to leave Blackpool in the transfer window, he might have added the odd 0 to his transfer fee this afternoon. Derm Tanner.
He's a good player, isn't he? It's Wolves 1 and Blackpool 2, and 2 for Tom Ince. A lovely, cheeky little one just before half-time, and a belter just a few moments ago. And could this be Blackpool's first win here since 1964? They lead by 2-1.
5 for the season for Freddie Sears, and Colchester look like they are going to end this dreadful run of 9 straight defeats in the league. Colchester 2, Walsall 0. And we are going to go back to the Riverside. They've had 1 late goal already. They've now had a second. Could League Two Aldershot be back on level terms? Paul Addison.
Oh, they certainly are, Mark, and just desserts perhaps for their performance this afternoon. And you don't need to guess who scored it. FA Cup marksman extraordinaire Danny Hilton already scored 7 in the competition so far this season. Lovely finish, crossing from the left, right under Jason Steele and into the back of the Middlesbrough net. So we've got 2.5 minutes of normal time left, and currently Aldershot on for a replay. It's Boro 1, Aldershot 1.
Yeah, as Paul Addison said, he likes the FA Cup. Does Danny Hilton? That's his 8th goal in the Cup. He's only got 9 in everything all season. 8 in the Cup. So Aldershot are back on level terms. Garth is convinced Norwich are going to be back on level terms at home to Luton. Any sign of an equaliser? Mark Webber.
Pen out, Mr. Crooks. Cheque payable to Mr. M. Chapman. We are in injury time. It says 90 minutes on the clock to my right. It's a goal kick for Luton. I don't suspect there will be much injury time. I didn't actually see how much has been called, but Luton goal hero Mark Tyler has been absolutely phenomenal. Has made 3 key saves to keep Norwich out. The ball will be kicked out. We're all looking at the referee. It's not happening yet, but he's holding on, and Luton are holding on for a famous victory at 1-0.
I appreciate your support, Mark, but I won't take a cheque, just cash from Garth. QPR 2, MK Dons 4. Fabio De Silva has got that goal. Everton have just scored as well at the Reebok. We'll get details of that goal very shortly. First of all, John Anderson at Loftus Road.
Yeah, well, the scoreline's given QPR a veneer of respectability, but frankly the damage had been done long before Bothroyd got a header in the 83rd minute, and then former Manchester United defender Fabio scrambled the ball in from a tight angle with a shot which the player on the line for MK Dons couldn't scramble away. To be fair to QPR, they've only woken up in the last 5 minutes or so. They suddenly look like scoring every time they come forward, but the MK Don fans are whistling for the final whistle, which is seconds away. It's QPR with another shot on goal, which goes just wide. Goodness me, what a finish we're having here, but it's going to be too late for them. It's QPR 2, MK Dons 4.
Montrose have conceded 8 in 2 games against Rangers this season. They're going to get a point at Ibrox by the looks of it this afternoon. They're back on level terms. It's 1-1. Confirmation of Everton's win over Bolton. And look at that. A massive, massive shock in the FA Cup. Luton of the conference have put out Premier League Norwich. Mark Webber.
4,000 men, women and children dressed in orange and blue bounce up and down like their lives depend on it. The club, docked 30 points and exiled from the league football system a few years ago, has just beaten a team 85 places above it in the pyramid. Norwich had more chances, but 3 fantastic saves by Luton keeper Mark Tyler, plus more disciplined defending, kept the Canaries out in the first half. Meanwhile, at the other end, Norwich looked bereft. Declan Rudd exposed. 2 super stubs game on. O'Donnell passed to Scott Rendell. He tapped in like it was a training ground move. Luton chairman Nick Owen is missing this. He's on a cruise. I bet you can feel the boat wobble from here. Norwich City 0, Luton Town 1.
I always thought he was a very slim man, was Nick Owen. First time since 1989 that a non-league side have put out a top-flight side, and that was when Sutton beat Coventry. What a shock there, and we've also got a shock at Loftus Road. John Anderson.
Yes, it's over. Queen's Park Rangers 2, MK Dons 4. The Premier League's bottom club humbled by the 7th team in League One after inexcusably inept display. And credit to the MK Dons, they thoroughly punished them. They took the lead on 4 minutes with Dean Lewington getting on the end of a corner and lifting the ball into the net. Dons keeper David Martin then made good saves to keep his team ahead, and he set up the second goal with a huge clearance which was misjudged, allowing Ryan Lowe to run in and make it 2-0. 5 minutes into the second half, it was 3. Lowe cutting the ball back to substitute Ryan Harley to tap in. Worse to follow within 6 minutes for Rangers. Darren Potter's rising side foot finish, making it 4-0 to MK Dons. Jay Bothroyd's 83rd minute header and Fabio's goal in stoppage time. Really no consolation whatsoever for Rangers. The most damning aspect of this performance was that it was gutless. At no stage until the very end did they appear to have any stomach for a fight, and they were punished. Back to the relegation scrap in the Premier League. Very little from this performance to suggest that they're going to survive it. Queen's Park Rangers 2, MK Dons 4.
Everton have won at Bolton in the FA Cup, as you can see. Late goal in the Championship. Marlon King's 14th of the season. He's 13th in the league, and it's Burnley who are down to 10 men, 1, Birmingham 2. And in the League Cup semi-final in Scotland, you're into extra time, Ian Turner.
We are indeed not just quite into it yet. The manager's having their say, but it finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. Hearts the better of the first half, but early in the second it was Andrew Shinnie who opened the scoring for Inverness. Hearts set about finding the equaliser. They did through Michael Ngoo with a fine close range finish. Hearts Scott Robinson then sent off, but Inverness couldn't make the extra man count. Teams getting lined up for extra time. We must have a winner. 1-1.
So we've got one non-league side through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. The other one, Macclesfield, couldn't quite manage it, James Mason.
Indeed, Macclesfield 0, Wigan Athletic 1, Mark. Despite the disparity in wealth and league placings of these two sides, this defeat for Macclesfield manager Steve King will prove a difficult pill to swallow, not because they were outplayed or overawed, but because they could and perhaps should have taken this to a replay. They started the brighter but gifted Wigan an early penalty that proved to be the only goal of the game. Thierry Ordell uprooting Callum McManaman in the box. Jordi Gomez firing home. Kissack, McDonald and Barnes-Homer all saw efforts go agonisingly close before seeing a penalty claim waved away. Referee Mr East turning to his assistant Mr West before deciding against the spot kick. So Wigan progress to the 5th round. For the second time in their history, Macclesfield's cup dream is over.
That late goal for Bristol City in the Championship. John Stead has scored for the bottom side in the 90th minute. Bristol City 2, Ipswich 1, and the final whistle has gone at the Amex Stadium. They were so close, Brighton, to a replay. Tony Husband.
Yes, just 5 minutes in the end, Mark, but Theo Walcott on as a substitute with the decisive strike 5 minutes from time in an enthralling cup tie in front of 27,000 fans here at the Amex. Twice Brighton came from behind to level this tie. Olivier Giroud with an excellent strike put Arsenal into an early lead. That was cancelled out by the head of Ashley Barnes, unmarked from a corner. 1-1 it remained at the break. Arsenal went back in front with the strength of Giroud, half volleying in early in the second period. But debutant Leonardo Ayer scored a wonderful equaliser, heading in Ashley Barnes' cross, diving across the face of the 6-yard box. On came Wiltshire and Wilcott. Arsenal surged forward, and when a corner was only half cleared, Walcott volleyed it back, and it deflected off Adam Elab and past Casper Ankergren. There was still time, though, for Brighton to have one last chance. Craig McHale-Smith came on as a sub, their top scorer, but he headed over from just in front of goal. All over. Arsenal have got away and scraped through. They've won by 3-2.
As you can see, also in the FA Cup, Hull 0, Barnsley 1. It's been a very comfortable afternoon for Reading at home to Sheffield United. Jason Mohammed.
An excellent win for Reading. Mark. Brian McDermott made 6 changes. Each and every one of them played their part, especially Noel Hunt. 2 goals for him, 1 each for Mikel Legentwood and Gareth McCleary. There is real momentum here at the Medeski Stadium. They played with real confidence too. Everyone comfortable on the ball, zipping it around. United had 2 good chances. Chris Porter headed wide. Adam Federici saved well from Jamie Murphy. Long trip home for the Blades fans. Magnificent support, but Sheffield United well beaten. Reading 4, Sheffield United 0.
They're still playing at the Riverside, where it was Middlesbrough 1, Aldershot 1, but there's been a late goal. Paul Addison.
Mark, in the 6th minute of added time, Lukas Jutkovic has scored his 2nd goal of the afternoon, and Boro lead by 2-1. Astonishing drama here. The first 80 minutes were awful. Jutkovic popped up in the 83rd with a header to put Boro ahead. Danny Hilton equalised for Aldershot with 1 minute of normal time remaining. Jutkovic then with the shot, 96 minutes on the clock. It rolled along the line, hit the post, and agonisingly for Aldershot went into the back of the net. They must have seconds to do something about it. It's Boro who lead 2-1.
His 10th of the season means it's going to be heartbreak for League 2. Aldershot and Hartlepool have only won 2 of their 27 league matches this season. Are going to get all 3 points at Fratton Park in the battle of the bottom 2 sides in League 1. Portsmouth 1, Hartlepool 3. Back to the FA Cup. Your game's going to a replay, Harry Gratian.
It is 1-1 in the end. A much better second half as well, Mark. Huddersfield will take some real encouragement from this. Lee Novak's penalty on 72 after Scannell's great run led to Hunt beating Dyer in the penalty area, and he was fouled, no doubt about that. But 10 minutes later, Chris Wood rifled home the equaliser. Huddersfield had other opportunities, notably a Novak header, which brought a fine Schmeichel save. Mark Lillis will be happy with this performance, though. 1-1.
Pat Murphy's watched another Old Championship tie that's been won easily by the away side. Pat Murphy.
They did well, Blackburn. They soaked up the pressure early on, then Kazim Richards just before half-time. Powerful finish. Then 2 splendid goals in the second half by Dan and Rhodes made it Derby 0, Blackburn 3.
And we'll go to Hull against Barnsley next, also in the FA Cup. Steve Wyeth.
Where it finished Hull 0, Barnsley 1. Hull culpable for their cup exit, made to pay for failing to capitalise on their dominance throughout. An all-championship match that rarely felt like a cup tie, settled by Chris Dagnall. It was harsh on Hull goalkeeper Jutkovic, whose wonderful double save was in vain as Dagnall stabbed the ball past him at the 3rd attempt. Nick Proswich came close to a late equaliser. He was denied, though, by goalkeeper Luke Steele. Keep an eye on Barnsley. Last time they got this far in the Cup, they beat Liverpool in the 5th round and made it to the semi-finals. It finished Hull 0, Barnsley 1.
It has finished at the Riverside, and Middlesbrough have beaten League Two Aldershot by 2-1. With Hull and Leicester in FA Cup action, Watford have closed the gap in the Championship with an impressive win at Nottingham Forest. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, very comfortable winners. Watford's bandwagon still rolling. 2 goals for Vidra, 18 for his fine season now. The other for Deeney. 5 wins in 6 for Gianfranco Zola's side as their late promotion push continues to gather pace. Garth, if you've any money left, put a bit on Watford.
He hasn't. I've completely cleaned him out. As regards the bottom of the table, Bristol City have picked up an important 3 points. Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, substitute John Stead scored against his old club in the 90th minute and could it with a goal to kick-start their fight for survival. It completed a turnaround for Sean O'Driscoll's first home match in charge. Stephen Davis cancelled out Daryl Murphy's opener. Mick McCarthy will be fuming. Only Cam May will be able to realise how vital that goal was.
Well, you can have your say on 6:06 on Radio 5 Live later this evening with myself and Robbie following the Manchester United Fulham commentary in the FA Cup. And then 5 Live has 3 more commentaries in the Cup tomorrow afternoon, including Leeds Spurs and Oldham Liverpool. And before all that, tomorrow morning... Yeah, Murray against Djokovic across the BBC tomorrow, including on the new BBC Sport app. Back to the football. Here they are then, all today's results, read by Mike West.
And starting with the 4th round of the FA Cup with Budweiser. Bolton Wanderers 1, Everton 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Arsenal 3, Derby County 0, Blackburn Rovers 3, Huddersfield Town 1, Leicester City 1, Hull City 0, Barnsley 1, Macclesfield Town 0, Wigan Athletic 1. Manchester United against Fulham is an evening kick-off at 5:30. Middlesbrough 2, Aldershot Town 1. Norwich City 0, Luton Town 1. Queen's Park Rangers 2, Milton Keynes Dons 4. Reading 4, Sheffield United 0. And Stoke City 0, Manchester City 1. On to the Empire Championship, Bristol City 2, Ipswich Town 1. Burnley 1, Birmingham City 2. Charlton Athletic 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Nottingham Forest 0, Watford 3. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Blackpool 2. In the Empire League 1, AFC Bournemouth 3, Crewe Alexandra 1. Carlisle United 1, Scunthorpe United 1. Colchester United 2, Walsall 0. Leyton Orient 2, Notts County 1 is a later score. Portsmouth 1, Hartlepool United 3. Preston North End 2, Coventry City 2. Shrewsbury Town 0, Bury 0. And the match between Tranmere Rovers and Swindon Town, match postponed. On to the Empire League 2, Bradford City against Wycombe Wanderers, also match postponed. Burton Albion 1, Barnet 0. Chesterfield 0, Southend United 1. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Morecambe 2. Fleetwood Town 3, Oxford United 0. Gillingham 1, York City 1. Plymouth Argyle 0, Accrington Stanley 0 is a later score. And Rotherham United 1, Bristol Rovers 3. The Blue Square Bet Premier, Alfreton Town against Tamworth, match postponed. Cambridge United 0, Grimsby Town 0. The games between Gateshead and Hereford United, Hyde and Ebbsfleet United, and Kidderminster against Woking, all postponed. Lincoln City 1, Forest Green Rovers 2, and Nuneaton Town 2, Braintree Town 4. Into Scotland and the Scottish Communities League Cup semi-final. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1, Hearts 1, after 90 minutes, extra time now being played. The Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, just one match today. Dundee United 1, Ross County 1. The Iron Brew Scottish Division 1, Dumbarton 3, Hamilton Academical 1. Dunfermline 0, Livingston 1. Falkirk 4, Airdrie United 3. Greenock Morton 1, Wraith Rovers 0. And Partick Thistle 2, Cowdenbeath 1. The Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers against Stenhousemuir, match postponed. Alloa Athletic 4, Stranraer 1. Arbroath 3, Forfar Athletic 1. Brechin City against Queen of the South, match postponed. And East Fife 3, Ayr United 3. Finally, the Iron Brew Scottish Division 3, the games between Annan Athletic and Peterhead, Berwick Rangers against Stirling Albion, East Stirlingshire against Clyde, and Elgin City against Queen's Park. All those matches postponed, leaving just one result, and that finished Rangers 1, Montrose 1.
A couple of late kickoffs for you. Leyton Orient 2, Notts County 1, and it's finished goalless between Plymouth and Accrington Stanley in League 2. Let's find out how those results affect the tables. As you were at the top of the Championship, because none of the top three were on league duty this afternoon, but Watford have gone forth with that win over Nottingham Forest. And Bristol City earned a late win against Ipswich, but it's not enough to lift them off the bottom of the table. Sheffield Wednesday have now gone 6 points clear of the drop zone after coming from behind to beat Charlton. Bournemouth were the only team in the top six in league action this weekend. They won, so they've gone up to fifth. Coventry's point at Preston sees them go ahead of the MK Dons, who were making those headlines in the FA Cup. Hartlepool won the bottom of the table battle with Portsmouth, but the North East clubs still prop up the table. Colchester won to move out of the relegation zone, with Scunthorpe slipping in. Port Vale didn't play today, but second place Gillingham blew the chance to go top after drawing at home to York. Burton move up to sixth, while Southend's victory at Chesterfield sees them edge into the playoff places at the expense of Rotherham. And a good win for Bristol Rovers lifts them off the foot of the table. They're now level on points with Plymouth, and they've got two games in hand. AFC Wimbledon are bottom of the pile. Grimsby were the only one of the top three in action today. They were held to a draw at Cambridge United. Forest Green won to cut the gap on the leading trio. Nuneaton were the only team in the relegation zone to play this afternoon. They lost, so there's no change at the bottom. Ebbsfleet, whose match at Hyde was a victim of the weather, stayed bottom of the table. And there was just one game in the SPL today because of the League Cup semi-finals. Dundee United drew in Ross County. It leaves the Tannadice side in seventh, but lifts the visitors up a place above St Mirren on goal difference. Let's talk about the FA Cup then, and a momentous day because it has been so long since a non-league side put out a top-flight side.
Well, performers of the round, no question about it. Luton, when they play in the Blue Square, you know, the pressure's on them because they're a massive club in that division. So every weekend, it's a cup final for them. They've got to Norwich, play with the freedom. Maybe Norwich have been too complacent, and they've gone there and won. It's a terrific performance. Paul Buckle's manager, you know, he's doing a great job. But they've obviously gone there and play with the freedom. Norwich, the quality of the players they had on that pitch, no disrespect, should, in my opinion, be beating Luton Town at home.
They are on such a poor run of form at Norwich, as we've said several times this afternoon. Won one of the last seven, and that was in the FA Cup third round. Are you surprised that a stronger side wasn't picked, albeit, I mean, as Robbie says, that was a side that should have been good enough to beat Luton? But are you surprised to try and give the place a lift that some of the regular starters didn't play?
You're playing as a conference side. There must be loads of players at Norwich bursting to get a game to prove they can play on that stage. I'm staggered by the result. I cannot believe the result. The game you were talking about in '89 against Sutton was at Sutton. Coventry were the cup holders, and it was an awful day. The pitch was terrible. The conditions were terrible. It was at Sutton. This is at Carrow Road in the backyard against a conference team that's fourth or fifth in the conference. It can be as big as you like in the conference. They're not entitled to that result, so all credit to Luton. But Chris Hughton will have an awful night tonight, and so will those players.
And the other conference side, Mac, gave it a good go as well, only beaten by a penalty against a Premier League team this afternoon.
Well, the thing is, when you're a Premier League club going to a a non-league side is you want an early goal. They got that. Gomez put away the penalty. And then it's quite comfortable from, Macclesfield putting a good show. They've done great to get there. But, Wigan, good win for Wigan, that, because he played a Wigan team too, Martinez. So it's a good win for Wigan.
Yeah, he made 8 changes from the side that were beaten last weekend against Sunderland for the game this afternoon. And we do kind of focus on, we say, the non-league side did very well there. But actually for Wigan, that's a... Well, we don't know. We haven't seen it. But to get over that is a decent result.
It's a very, very decent result. And a lot of people say, well, they should do. Of course they should. But you can only do, play the people that's in front of you. You beat them. You get the job done. I'm still reeling from... Scott Rendell. I didn't know who Scott Rendell was from today. Perhaps I should have done. But I do now. He's put himself on the map. That's all you'll be talking about this weekend. Probably okay. To be fair to MK Dons, they'll get mentioned, and quite rarely at Loftus Road. But for Luton to go to Carrow Road and get this...
He has been around for a while, Scott Rendell. That's his 11th of the season, and he's played for Wycombe and he's came for Cambridge. He's I don't want to use the word journeyman. He's been around the lower leagues.
And good luck to him, because tonight he'll be on all the front pages.
Back pages.
Back pages. Maybe front pages.
Front pages of the sport. Or front pages of the sports section. Whichever.
We hope so. We hope so. But it's a tremendous effort.
Do QPR fall into the Norwich category this afternoon?
I think as players, as Garth has alluded to, if you're not in the first team, you want to play games. They've got a chance in the FA Cup. Some of them players who play for QPR today, Bothroyd, Granero, Pat G. Sung, play Champions League football.
Tel Banhaim. Robert Green.
They're playing at home against MK Dons. They should be winning that game for me, because they should be, wanting to play, because they're not in the first team. So it's a chance for them. They can't now knock on Harry's door on Monday, say, why am I playing in your Premier League team? Harry will say, because you're putting a performance like that at home, you've let yourself down, your fans down. Shocking performance.
They are involved in midweek action because there's a full Premier League programme. So midweek you will get a special match of the day on Wednesday night at 10:35 on BBC One. And then the day after, the January transfer window shuts, so you can follow all the news here on the BBC.
Transfer deadline day is upon us, and we have the most comprehensive coverage around. 7 million of you followed the fortunes of your favourites on the BBC website last January. Stay in touch throughout the day on your smartphone, tablet and via our new app. There's a special football focus at 6:30 on the BBC News channel. 5 Live are on from 7 to 11, and we're back for a full roundup on BBC Two at 11:20. Transfer deadline day. We've got it covered on TV, radio and online.
And I do have one bit of transfer news for you this afternoon. Liverpool have agreed an £8.5 million deal for Inter Milan's Brazilian midfielder Philippe Coutinho. He's expected to travel to Merseyside early next week for a medical. Liverpool will need to apply for a work permit before the deal can be completed. Southampton were also in the running for him because he played under Mauricio Pochettino on loan at Espanyol, but it's thought he would prefer to go to Liverpool. Let's go to the League Cup semi-final in Scotland. They're in extra time. Ian Turner, Inverness against Hearts.
Just about to kick off in the second period of extra time. Still Inverness 1, Hearts 1. A fantastic chance for Inverness to put this tie beyond Hearts just before the midpoint there. Billy Mackay had a great chance. He turned just once too often. He lost the chance, set up Andrew Shinnie. His shot was blocked in the Hearts defenders were absolutely jumping for joy. Great cup tie. 1-1, 15 minutes left.
Should just quickly touch on Arsenal and Everton. Both Premier League clubs, one at Championship clubs, both desperate to win the FA Cup. Strong lineups and held off.
Well, I think David Moyes learnt his lesson against Leeds in the Capital One club when he played a weakened team. Gone with the strongest team there. Great win at Bolton.
OK. The Six Nations returns next weekend on BBC One, so final score will be switched to BBC Two. You can join us at 4:30 then, or from 2:30 on the Red Button and the Sport website. Thanks to Robbie and Garth for this afternoon. Well done to Luton. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.